recently I read a really good article about wikis actually, and it was on, I think, the Educator's Royal Treatment blog, which I have actually been recently writing for. And then it was talking about how wikis, you can use it in the classroom and how you can use them for making lists, so maybe a good brainstorming one of everybody contributing to a list on a wiki, or everybody maybe contributing to an article about something they recently learned was one of my ideas. So wikis are really multifunctional, I think, in what they can do. So
students do need to know how to evaluate.
They do, and I think that was one of our teacher's point here, was also along the evaluation, to understand that wikis are created out there by all sorts of resources, and that you have to be very careful and not just assume that information on a wiki is the correct information.
Yes, that's very true. And I think that when we're using the internet, then I tell students, be careful about, you can't just assume that the first thing you find on Google is going to be something that is true, because people are posting their opinions on the internet. Think of the internet maybe as a newspaper, and some of it is going to be opinion, and some of it is going to be more factual. And so when we look at the internet like this, these students are better equipped to evaluate it. And actually on Wikipedia, I was creating a post about my older sister, who is actually a musician. And then in the very next few minutes, there was I had no idea how people found this out, but there was a thing at the top that says, notability issue. This post appears to have been created by subject's younger sister. And I just was really cracking up and thinking, wow, how do they know this? That's a little scary. Yeah, so that was kind of interesting. So now, I'd like to move on to the 21st Century Writing Skills Made Easy blog writing. And this is actually a presentation I created for students about blogging, but I think it has some valuable stuff in there that I would like to speak to you about. So, no further ado, moving on to here. So, mission blog. I talk to students about what a weblog is. Here's the definition from the dictionary. It's a frequently updated personal journal on the website intended for public viewing. But then I might have students create their own definition. What is a weblog to you? What does it do for you? So I have them create a definition. I talk about how a blog can be more than a journal, and what you can publish on a blog, journals and newsletters, one thing, stories, poems, artwork, photographs, videos, and sounds, just a few different things that you can publish on a blog. And then I talk to students about why blog. Expressing feelings could be one. Gaining recognition. So when you publish on a blog, then your work is going to be exposed to a wider audience on the World Wide Web. It builds teamwork. When you're working, oops, a little typo there. I didn't go there. Okay, builds teamwork. When you're working in symphony with others on this blog, then that is really a group effort. Improving writing. This actually, I think, really ties in with the gaining recognition, because when students know that somebody is reading their work, that they have an audience, then they may be a little more pressured. They'll think, oh, well, writing is this mark I'm making on the world, and so I better make sure that mark is something I can be proud of. Publishing work, and a lot of students create some really great stuff and deserve to be published in some way, and so blogging is a great way to do that, and it creates reflection. It encourages them to look inside and also really think about the world and about their school and maybe about themselves and blog about it. We blog to share and learn from our experiences, and I show students an example of a blog. It's actually my blog on AdoraSpeedTalk.com. Where's the blog? Right here. So the other day I actually wrote a post about where are you from? Where are you from? Some of you, this answer might be simple, but I like to ask questions about simple things. How detailed should one get when answering the question? Should you say the name of the city and the state, or just the country, or the planet? Should you mention your neighborhood? And then what does from mean anyway? Does it mean where you're living currently, or where you were born, or a place you used to live, or the place you most identify with, or the place where your parents were from? The reason I ask is because when I'm delivering classes through video conferencing, kids always ask me, where are you from? Here are a few different versions for your information. See if you can sort them out. 1. I'm from Springfield, Oregon, United States. 2. I'm from Redmond, Washington, United States. 3. I'm from Washington State. 4. I'm from the U.S. 5. I'm an earthling. Now here are the answers. Number 1, where I was born. Number 2, where I live. And Redmond is actually like a suburb of Seattle. It's right nearby Seattle. 3 is where let's see. Where I used to live? That's odd. I still live in Washington State. Okay, it looks like I got the answers mixed up there. If I used to live in Renton, Washington State. So I'm from the U.S., where my country. Let's see. It looks like the answers may not have fully loaded, but 4. What I am. Yes, this is really actually. I am not sure how that happened because it displayed correctly on my mom's computer. Okay, that's really odd. Well, 5, I'm an earthling is what I am, to be used probably only when speaking to extraterrestrials. So, where are you from? So, looking at this blog, we obviously found some mistakes, and so I can tell students about, well, not all blogs are perfect. Sometimes you're going to mess things up. Sometimes I obviously mess things up. So, another cool thing about blogging is that you can actually go in there. So if when I can go in the blogger and I can change that, and I think I am right now because I'm so embarrassed about that and I'm not sure how that happens. So that really displays the kind of spontaneity. And I have some things that are a little bit more perfect than that. So being able to go in here.
That does look a lot like editing a wiki too, doesn't it?
Where I used to, yeah, it's a lot like where I used to live. 3, 4, and 5. My goodness, I'm not sure how I got that messed up. Okay, well that deals with it. So I'm able to edit it just right there, and that really fixes the problem. And another thing is that you're able to, as a student, then students are able to get comments on their work, and feedback is really helpful to improve in writing. I know that a lot of my writing, I learned a lot because from my blog, because people left comments, they left positive comments and some that were maybe a little more critical, not quite critical, but maybe telling me that there were some things I could improve on. So I learned a lot about blogging and about some of the things I could write about and some of the things I could improve through people leaving these comments. And you can obviously filter comments, etc., so that you make it a safe environment. And blogs come in many different shapes and forms. It doesn't have to be one type of blog. They will have different purposes. To inform, to entertain, persuade. So, for instance, an informing blog might be more how-to. So, for instance, a blog that's made to inform, it might talk about how to fix plumbing. That would be informing. An entertaining blog might have comedy routines or jokes on it. A persuading blog would probably be a little more, would have more persuasive essays, persuasive letters, that type of thing, to get you to agree with a point of view.